Hello, I'm Jody Wolf, and you're watching Expoz, September 22, 2018, 11:35 p.m. Birmingham. Topic: wow, every time I try to move out of this time frame, something pulls me back in. And I'm going here for a reason. There's some new news out about 4 hours ago. And 4 a.m. Israeli time, Middle East time, and 7 p.m. Birmingham time. But let me tell you first about the past blog, the Red Heifer, the Game Changer. I see only one place in the Bible where there's not really mentioned an age on the sacrificed lamb or the ram or anything else, and that is the one that's caught up in the bush when God told Abraham to go sacrifice Isaac to me. And then he stopped him. He said, "Don't harm your son." He said, "Go get that ram tied up in the bushes." And he did, and he sacrificed the ram rather, and age not mentioned there. But every other time when something like that would happen, when he had to save his people, or when they had to offer up forgiveness for the sins and a burnt offering, it's usually been a young lamb. So going by the red heifer, I believe that it has to be a young red heifer, not an older one. The longer they keep this red heifer, the more likely there will be a blemish or a accident, something called sickness, and something would change things if they waited 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And but they're still going over this thing with a fine-tooth comb, a magnifying glass, and they're going up and down each side, just like you see a monkey sitting with another, and he's just fanning the hairs and picking fleas off of them and ticks. Well, they're going over this red heifer, fanning the hairs on him to find a blemish, and they have not found one yet. But what I'm here to talk about right now is what happened at 4 a.m. in Israel was they're patrolling their standard area that they patrol over Lebanon. This is where they launched their attacks in Syria from this place. Now, Russia told them, I don't know how they told them because I never heard it, but this is what is coming out now, that since the time that their jet was shot down, they had 15 men in it, Israelis blamed for using that jet as their cover to strike into Syria. And that's probably the case. But the intent was not to get that plane shot down. I mean, they certainly would not have done it if that would have happened, but they didn't know. I think Syria is just lead-footed anyway. They don't care. They'll just shoot and ask later. So with that in mind, they told Israel, don't fly under 19,000 feet when you fly over Lebanon. Well, you can't fly at 19,000 feet. You'll get shot down by too many people. Too easy. And but that's what they said. Well, Israel tested them. 4 a.m. They flew out over Lebanon over their usual route, and they had 2 F-16s that Israelis flew, and were intercepted by at least 2 SU-34s. These are hot rod jets owned by the Russians. And they were escorted back to Israel. So that can rapidly become problematic for everyone. And this is retaliation. It's got to be on their aircraft that was shot down. So how long will this last? But in the meanwhile, their border is still being built up with Russians, with Iranians, with Syrians. That is still happening. It's going unchecked. And Israel's getting more and more, well, protective of their border, their people, and they're going out on these runs more frequent, but all of a sudden it seems like Russia wants to dampen that just a little bit, so that can create problems. All I'm saying is I've been saying lately that I did not think Russia was Gog and Magog, and I still don't see evidence of that. But I do know that God puts the hook in the jaw. Well, we know or feel like Russia is in Syria to stay. But are they? And if anybody can prove that Gog and Magog is Russia, then that's okay. But if they're not, then why are they there? And are they there because they have a hook in the jaw, as it says in Ezekiel 38? So guys, are we getting closer? And again, I want to say this. I don't believe that we will see the Ezekiel 38, 39 war break out in Israel. I believe the church will leave at that time, or just very, very closely to it. And that's my belief. Jody Wolf, Expoz.